Hi guys, welcome back to Steelers Fan TV. It's been a while since I did a vidcast. Today's vidcast is actually going to be about the Steelers. My initial thoughts on what's going on really. Obviously I have been a bit out of the loop in the past few months, so if anything that I say is inaccurate then just give me a bit of leeway because I haven't done much research. I should have done more, but this is literally going to be on the top of my head because I do want to give my initial thoughts, what I'm thinking, and where I do think we might end up this season if we carry on at the rate we are going. So we'll start with Mr. Fox, Aaron Fox, the new head coach. Obviously, he's got big shoes to fill. He's got the shoes of the likes of Paul Thompson, you know, Doug Christensen, who's just recently got another job, who's got quite a big job as well. Obviously, the most recent Tom Barrasso. You know, you get the picture. That he's got a big shoes to fill. He's got a big club to come to. He's come from Dynamo Zagreb, or he's been in and around Dynamo Zagreb in the past few seasons. He's got to really show what he's worth. And I know that's big of me to say, like, right now. It is a couple of months until the start of the new season, but seriously, Fox has got to, like, sort of show what he's got and what he's capable of. Like, as soon as he gets there, he's got to, like, say, right, boys, this is what I expect from you. This is what I expect from you, right? Last season, what I don't think Paul Thompson did was set boundaries of what he wanted. And that, I think, is one of the biggest reasons why we were such a flop last season. Because Paul Thompson didn't go in all guns blazing like, lads, you've got to do this. I expect this from you. I expect this from you. I will use Sheffield Wednesday as an example and Steve Bruce. Okay, Steve Bruce is coming to the side obviously in February. It's now in pre-season, and he said to the Wednesday players the other week, if any of you come back overweight or unfit, you're getting docked a week's wages, and that's like 50 grand for some players. A loss of 50 grand, you want to work for that. So if Fox comes in and says, look lads, when you come in, if you come into the pre-test unfit, you're getting docked X amount of wages. I think it would kick the players into shape, basically, and into the mindset that they're going to perform and they need to meet these standards that are expected. So that's the first thing I think Fox needs to do. It sets some boundaries for the side. I think, second of all, he needs to establish a name for himself. So what Paul Thompson failed to do last season was MK Lighton at home in front of a full sellout crowd. What do you think he said to those players? I'll tell you what I think he said. I think he said, lads, this is an easy game. You can go out and go and win this. Just do your best. Don't even do your best, just go into second gear. When we started losing, it got a bit sort of, oh dear, you know what I mean? We need to set, yeah. He needs to go all guns blazing in that first game to put a real marker on his name. Pre-season's a good opportunity for it. First game of the season's a good opportunity for it. But he needs to really just go for it. Right. Third of all, Fox. I'm just sticking with the same thing that he's got to do what Paul Thompson failed to not do, if you like. So he failed to he failed to sign correct players. Now Fox has gone about it straight away. He has done what I expected him to do. And that might seem such a jagged sentence, what I've just said. He's done what I've expected him to do. Which is come in, sign a couple of decent players, bring back some of the favourites to really get the crowd on his side. And I bet you're thinking like, George, you're talking crap. But he has come in, he's signed some favourites like Ebeli DeLuca. He's got rid of some dead wood as well, which I'm quite happy about. And then obviously he's brought Andreas Lewin in, and Marc-Olivier Valorand. Two players. Oh, Brendan Connolly. How can I forget him? I'm going to come on to them players in a bit, like, obviously. But I think Fox has really sort of sent a message to the fans as if to say, I'm not here to mess about. And I personally am really looking forward to this season. last season, if I'd have done Vidcast last season, I'd have said I'm really not looking forward to this season. I am going to hate every minute of it because I predicted that we would finish. I think I predicted 4th at the start of the season and I got hounded out by fans on Twitter. But would you have took 4th after we finished 7th? I'm pretty sure you would. So next we'll go on to talk about Andreas Lewin. Now, I don't know much about him. I know he's a defender. He's about 35, 36. He looks to have a good CV as a hockey player. He's played in high leagues. He's played in very good leagues, very competent leagues. He racks up points, and it says he's a very good power play, a person to have on the power play, which is something I think we have missed in the past few seasons. Someone who can really sort of give us a killer instinct on the power play. And yes, he is getting on a bit, but so is Jonathan Phillips, and he looks like he's going to play for the next 10 years. Good old Phillips. And I do think we need to get out of that mindset that, he's too old, we shouldn't sign him. Because at the end of the day, the more experienced they are, they're probably the better player they are. As daft as it sounds, we all go on about young kids and how we should bring more of them in, but they don't have the experience or the big league experience. Now, Lewin does look like to be the sort of player that we needed last season. But this season, I'm looking forward to seeing what he's like, because I'm like that. I want to see what the players are like. If they're rubbish, then they're rubbish. But we had our fair share of rubbish players last season, so I don't think we're going to see the same quality as last season. Next, Brendan Connolly. Now, Brendan Connolly always has been one of my favourite players to watch at the arena because he's just excellent. Skill-wise, he's excellent. When he gets mardy, he gets mardy. Obviously, that's something we can control because as a club, you've got to control sort of the players that might get into a bit of fracas on the ice, the players that might let you down a bit, the players that drive culture just head into the boards, Yes, that really did annoy me, but Jonathan Phillips stepped up and says, that's not on. Then obviously Cole Shudra went after Connolly at MK Lightning, but they are now on the same team, and that normally diffuses situations. So I don't think we'll have a St. Louis Blues situation of knocking the crap out of each other in training. I think we'll have more of a. I think we'll have a good team spirit next season. Looking at the players we've got, there's going to be a lot of quality in there, and I can guarantee that. There was a lot of talk around Brendan Connolly coming to the Steelers, and he has done. And I think that is probably one of the best moves that we've made in a long, long time, because that is, it's more or less a first line player, which is something that we've said that we just haven't signed in the past few years. It took us about 4 years to sign a first liner. He's potentially a first liner, Connolly. You know how he plays, and it takes me on to talking about Tyler Eberle. Eberle was signed as a second liner, but we soon found out that he was not worthy of the second line. That is not detracting from him as a player. He would tell you himself that he's a third line, fourth line player, but we put him on the second line in the top 6 forwards, and I think that is probably one of the worst decisions ever made. Not because Tanner's a bad player, but because he's just not suited to that line. He wouldn't be suited around those players, the goal scorers. He's a hard-working player who likes to put a hit in. That's the sort of energy shift sort of player you want. Someone that's going to knock up other players. Not knock up, but go and rattle other players. If you like, you're wanting to get some energy back in your side. Get the fourth line out. Go and knock their players about a bit. Get off first line back out. I think it is a good move to bring back Eberle. I'm really pleased, because he was a fan favourite as well. So a lot of fans are happy about it. I think a lot of people would have been disappointed to see Eberle go. DeLuca, obviously he was signed with Marc-Olivier Valorant. I'll talk about these two. DeLuca is a good player. I will give him that. I mean, the 4 goals he scored against Cardiff, I will never forget. It was probably one of the best moments, really, as a Steelers fan, when he scored 4 against Cardiff. I was like, oh my God, we need to get him back. he's a bit of a liability in defence, I'll give him that. But overall, he's the player we wanted back. And when we signed him, I just think it was probably one of the best moves the club made in a long time. I mean, he could have gone to another club quite easily, chose to come to us, and yeah, I think it was a good move at the start. Hot chocolate. Next we'll talk about Marc-Olivier Vallerand. Obviously Vallerand played for Coventry. Oh, and when we first signed him, the tweets about him were just absolutely incredible from the Coventry fans. Judas, Snake, all this. The truth is, they're just jealous. I'm just trying to get under Coventry fans' skin here, to be honest. I think there was a bit of jealousy involved, the fact that Vallerand was an excellent goal scorer for them. He's come to us. Hopefully he proves to be a goal scorer for us. Because I can guarantee everyone will be like, haha, you signed him. Not a goal scorer. And I do think he'll prove himself yet again in the league. I'm really looking forward to watching him play. Because I used to like watching him play when he played against the Steelers. I'm sure he got quite a few goals against us. And I just liked him, really. So yeah, that's all I'll talk about from the Steelers' perspective at the minute. But now I'm going to switch to the Panthers. And yes, it's a Steelers channel, but the Panthers have signed Tim Wallace, who played for us 2 years ago, and Mark Masterson, who effectively played for us two years ago, because he didn't really play much last season, and when he did, he was a bit slow, assistant coach. I just think he lost it a little bit. Now, the Panthers have signed him, and I have to admit I was laughing, because he's not a player who will suit the Panthers. It's a good move for him as a person, because he gets a role. But it's a bad move for a playing side of things, because he was slow, he couldn't really move, he was better as an assistant coach, and right, I'll admit this, in his first season he was absolutely tremendous. From start to finish, probably one of my favourite players to watch on a power play. I remember the last minute goal he scored against the Panthers. I remember the Boxing Day goal he scored against the Panthers. I just remember every goal that Mattson scored because he was an excellent player. His second season, though, I have to admit, I was really sort of flabbergasted. From the play he was in the first season to then switching to the play he was in the second season, it was like watching a completely different player. Tim Wallace, again, he came in as an excellent player. And I remember someone once texting me saying, I've just been at the Steelers practice. Tim Wallace has put every single shot past Mustakov's. And I think he only ended up scoring about 4 or 5 on the season. And that was a flop. And I'm pretty sure he people weren't impressed with him. They thought you were a bit rubbish, really, a bit bitty. And now he's gone to the Panthers as a player coach. And you can kind of see why, because it's a kind of good move for them, but it's only a good move for them if they want to finish sort of 5th or 6th. Obviously, as a club that they are, the big club that they are, the Panthers, they'll be wanting to finish high up the league. But so far, I can't really see that happening. And the reason I can't see it happening is because, as in, we don't think that they're looking like a good enough side. And yes, that is a bit biased coming from a Steelers perspective, but again, I just can't see it happening for them. We'll talk about Belfast a quick second. Obviously, they've signed Ben Lake. They've lost Beskar Awani. I know they've lost him, and it's going to be a weaker side than this season. And yes, Belfast will still be a good side because they've still got some of the players that they have from last season. But the players that they're losing is quite bad in terms of where they want to be for next season. If they want to be winning the league and the Challenge Cup again, they need to be replacing these players quick. And yes, Belfast always have a good side, but will they be as good as last season's ever again? Probably not. And some of their fans have said that, the players that they had were excellent. And I have to admit, when we played Belfast, it was great beating them because they have such a good side. They're like the Devils. I hate the Devils because they're so good. Premier League teams hate Manchester United because of their history. I hate the big EIHL teams because they're good and because we should be up there. But we weren't last season. And obviously we're talking about big clubs. We'll talk about the Devils, Bounds, coming back for another season. I was a bit disappointed, really. Like, I know it's a good move for Bounds himself, but I was a bit disappointed with Bounds that he couldn't find another place, really, because I do think he has so much potential in his career, but he's just, as I saw it at first, I thought he picked the easy way out. And having listened to his interview, I understand why he might be back, but whether there's some stuff we don't know, I don't know. But I do think he has sort of chosen the easy way out. And that's just my opinion of it. I think he could have really pressed on in another country and a bigger league. And I think he could have really made a name for himself, really. Then maybe come back to the Devils when he's older. Come back like a hero. Yeah. So, we'll go back to Steelers for a couple more minutes. I don't want to keep you too long. It's like first video back. But we'll just quickly talk about something that is not really a big talking point, but a lot of people have been arguing it. So, kit colour. Now, kit colour. Black for home. People have been saying like, oh yeah, we want black and orange for his home kit. I think there's a couple of issues with that. First of all, black isn't the branded colour of the Steelers. Orange is. So I think if we were going for a home kit, orange would be the one. Orange and black. I don't like orange and blue. I personally don't like orange shorts either. Or orange helmets. Or orange gloves. I think when we moved from black helmets to orange helmets, I was like, oh no, what's this like? I just don't think it suits the head, if you like. I think black suits your head more because it just looks like, it looks normal. But orange, I still don't like it. I understand that we're trying to keep sort of it all matching, but I'd loved it to be blue helmets, really, like if we were going for a different colour helmet. I just didn't really enjoy the orange helmets at all. And yeah, so going back to kit colour. A lot of people have been saying, voting for black and orange. I remember doing a poll on Steal the Puck. About 70% voted black and orange. Predominantly being black. Yes, black's obviously a nice colour. It looked nice on the Steelers when we were playing the special games. Like Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's. I'm sure it was a Valentine's Day. There was one more as well. Rainbow. Oh, Pride jerseys, yeah. The black Pride jersey was so nice. Oh my god. But I do think that if people wanted black, I think we'd have to go for the Challenge Cup kit as black, and obviously the special jerseys are black. So yeah, I don't think we will change from orange. I'd prefer that to be that we don't change from orange. Because I personally like orange, one of my favourite colours, and my Steelers jersey's orange, my Steelers jersey's blue. But it'd be nice to get a black one. So, I don't know. I really don't know. But, it's there to be debated, isn't it, really? And I will leave you there. So, it was just a short video, really. Well, 20-minute video on a Sunday. I have been promising these. And from now, there'll be about 1-2 videos a week. I don't know what the second one will be per week, but there will be something out there. Along with all the articles and stuff like that. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, leave a like. If you haven't, leave a dislike. Because then it tells me what people like and don't like. So, alright guys, see you later.